I opened my eyes upon a world that was no longer bound by sunrise or shadow. The air was neither warm nor cold, it simply was. The wars had ceased, the screams were gone, and the earth stood in solemn awe. Those who had endured through the tribulation now walked softly, as if afraid to disturb the calm breath of a reborn universe. The oceans mirrored the heavens. Mountains rose like temples of glass. There was no clock to count the hours, for time, once the tyrant of mortals, now served the throne of the eternal. And then the throne appeared, not as a monument of power, but as a pulse of light, alive, omniscient, all-encompassing. Around it flowed the essence of ages, memories of creation, the laughter of angels, the sighs of prophets. The nations that once warred against heaven now knelt as light cascaded through them, purifying the remnants of rebellion. I fell on my face, and the voice that spoke was not thunder, it was truth. The reign of man has ended. The reign of the eternal begins. He came not in vengeance, but in majesty. His eyes held galaxies, and his robe carried the dawn. Upon his forehead, a name unspoken since before the first atom breathed. I could not lift my gaze, for his presence burned away all illusions. The lion had become the lamb again, and the universe rejoiced in silence. Those who had once denied him trembled, but even their fear became worship. He stretched out his hand, and reality shifted. Where once stood ruin, now rose a garden. Where once was blood, now bloomed life. This was not Eden restored. It was Eden transformed. The covenant was no longer written in stone nor bound in books, but inscribed in light, flowing through every living soul. No temple, for I dwell among them. No night, for I am their dawn. The oceans shimmered with renewal. Creatures emerged, not as they were, but as they were meant to be. The lion lay beside the lamb, and the air pulsed with the sound of unspoken harmony. The curse had not been erased, it had been redeemed. Suffering was now wisdom. Tears were turned into light. I walked among the ruins of the old world, and flowers grew from ashes. There was a gate beyond which no shadow could pass. I approached, trembling not from fear but from the recognition of something eternal. And there before me stood death, unarmed, unmasked, undone. The one upon the throne lifted his hand, and the scythe dissolved into dust. The last tear ever shed rolled down his palm and became a star. It is finished again. Music rose, not from instruments but from the souls of the living. Every breath became a note, every heartbeat a hymn. It was the sound of a universe healed, a harmony that words could not contain. I joined them, not as a prophet or witness, but as a voice among countless others. We sang and time listened. The river that flowed from the throne carried remembrance, not pain, not guilt, but understanding. Every moment of history passed before me. Empires, wars, prayers whispered in darkness. And yet, all of it shimmered with purpose. The mistakes of humanity had become brushstrokes in the masterpiece of eternity. I looked behind me and saw a single fragment of darkness, lost, wandering. It whispered, "What am I now without your fear?" And I answered, "You are the lesson." The shadow bowed and disappeared, consumed by the dawn. Then I saw it, time itself like a serpent of glass winding around the throne. Its scales shimmered with centuries, its eyes filled with longing. It bent low and broke. Eternity touched it, and all ages became one. The past wept into the future, and the future kissed the present. Time had found peace. And the voice proclaimed once more, Behold, I make all things new. The universe echoed the words. Stars trembled, galaxies danced. This was not the end. It was the beginning that never ends. I fell to my knees, not from fear, but from the weight of peace. And I whispered, so this is forever. As I looked upon the light, I realized eternity was not something to reach. It was something to remember. For we were never meant to count the days, but to become the dawn. And when time bowed, eternity rose.